Hello and welcome again. This is AC 1945 WC, and as promised, a video of my 1945 Allis-Chalmers WC. You notice it's in pretty fair shape. I was lucky enough to buy it in Pennsylvania 2 years ago. It is in very good shape considering its age. Runs like a champ. It's very good. I've changed the oil since I've bought it, which isn't too bad. I've put some stuff in it. You see the screws on the hood. Those are new. The belt pulley never came with it, but it had one from the factory from what I saw. I am missing the power lift. I know it had one on there because if you look here at the frame rail, you can see where there was one at, and you can tell it did have a cultivator because it's got brackets or places where brackets were. I had to buy that step as well because I didn't know where it was. Also, when I got it, the PTO shaft was held up by a dog chain going around the torque tube, so it had no PTO, had a block off plate. So I got a PTO gearbox off eBay. Got two of them. One was cracked, this one's was cracked too, but I actually had my father weld it. He's a good welder. He knows what rods you can use for cast iron, and he fixed it. Matter of fact, you can see where it was busted and where it's all ground up where he fixed it. I figured a residual leak is going to happen. It's from the drain plugs and whatnot seeping out. The sediment bowl, if you notice, yes, it's new, but you see a filter in there. I had to buy the long bowl, which most of them had from the factory, off eBay, and unfortunately it did not have the correct glass bowl. So I had to go to Tractor Supply and for less than $5 get a new glass bowl and get that filter at Napa Auto Parts, which is a Napa part number FIL 3039. If anybody asks about that on the YouTube, you can just put something in the comments about it. I'll tell you how I did this and how I come about that. Tires are in fairly good shape. They're not real old, I don't believe. That's not a factory rim. It is bent right where that rusty spot is that I'm showing you here, and you can see it. It has loops welded to it on the inside instead of having an indent for the wedges. So if anybody knows where I can get a good original rim that is built for the wedges and the bolts, that'd be nice, because you can see from here one of the loops right there, and I got a little oil leak problem, but I can fix it. I made this bracket for the slow moving vehicle emblem because I wanted to keep people aware if I was riding down the road that they needed to avoid me. The seat, this isn't the seat that came on it. The seat that came on it was the Monroe Easy Ride setup, which was an option. Not an option I really liked because it wasn't very comfortable. I bought, believe it or not, I had to buy this in pieces. The spring came off eBay from one seller. The backrest came from another, and I had bought a brand new pan from Tractor Supply, which I found out was too deep to go with the backrest. So I got back on eBay and I got lucky, and I found the original seat pan that you see here. And people seem to think that it's for unstyled tractors only, but it's not. If you notice this side, the rim is still the original. It has the blocks and everything. It's real good. I've retained the 6-volt system. I still have the generator with the cutout. I spent $75 for the parts to fix the lights from Steiner Tractor, and with that filter that's in that bowl, it will eliminate stuff like this. That way you don't have it looking all funny because you've got it spliced in and everything. Doesn't look too good that way. So once I get the time, I'm going to make a new line coming from the tank on out. Had to put a new battery box on it too, because when I got it, it was shot. And I have a hand crank here to it. I have to use it to start it right now because the ground is not too good, and I've got to clean up the ground for the battery so I can start it. Radiator had to have some repairs, but I took care of them. It's got a small repair it needs, but I can get it straight. It was leaking on the corner that you may or may not be able to see through the hole here where your shutter adjustment comes through, and I have a shutter for it too, and it will be operational, and I will put it on there good. Most everybody puts bolts in place of the screws. I can't stand that because the parts book lists screws, so I went by the sizes and everything, got the screws, and I can tell you right now, it's going to stay with a magneto. I've seen people put distributors on them, but I'm going to keep the magneto because the magneto is simpler. This one runs very good. It's very hot spark. Works real well. So, you know, pretty much that's my tractor. And you see how good a shape it's in. It has won 2 second place trophies in its weight class and division for tractor pulling. So it's made me happy. I've enjoyed it at shows, and other people have enjoyed it as well. So until the next time, I'll probably have a video of my WD as well following this. So until then, this is AC 1945 WC.